Morning, everybody. Good afternoon, I guess. We are just in the office right now learning a little bit more about the Online Rare Semen Auction. So I'm going to turn it over to our CEO, Craig, to answer a few questions for you.
Hi.
Okay, so first question. What questions have you been receiving regarding the Online Rare Semen Auction?
So I've had some questions about bulls and what I thought, and I'm more than happy to share any of the information about these sires. I mean, they tend to be proven sires that we have used in the past, and so I do kind of have a pretty good feel for where they be. I've also had a lot of questions about how shipping works. Well, shipping is the responsibility of the buyer, but we will make sure some of the semen is stored at World West Sires, and some of it's stored here at the ranch, and we will make sure that the semen stored here at the ranch gets to Custom Genetic Solutions so that the buyer will have an opportunity or a good opportunity to have it shipped from Custom Genetic Solutions via a dry shipper anywhere in the U.S. So I want to alleviate anybody's concerns. We will help you. We will make sure it gets to a stud so that you can ship it from there. That will not be their responsibility. That will be our responsibility. But we will get it to those facilities so that it can be shipped.
Awesome. What lots have you been most excited about in the auction?
Well, obviously Rolling Deep. I mean, he's a sire we're actively using, and there's been a lot of activity on the website with Rolling Deep. There are some very good sires all the way around, but the Rolling Deep and Roosevelt are probably a couple of my most favorite lots.
Can you tell us why you decided to sell this semen?
Well, I mean, obviously we want to generate some revenue, but you know, because we run a comprehensive operation here, and it's about making sure that we generate enough revenue to cover operations. So that's definitely part of it. A lot of the semen, we tend to really cut the edge and use the young sires, and I've always felt that if a bull was a great sire, he was going to produce a young one. And many of these have already produced a really great sire, or some of them have lots of good females that we've had young sires out of that we're trying to sample and use right now. There's some very, very old sires like the EBV 6703 who still 20, 30 years later is still a marbling leader. Dynamo 732 was a bull that some of the best females that in his time, he had some of the best females around, and was a very exciting sire from that perspective. Chieftain 38er was a perpetual growth leader. I mean, that was a bull that really bent the curve for growth. There's lots of good sires there, and there's lots of good reasons to use them. There's a lot of people who really like to use proven sires, and this is kind of opening up the tank to share those sires with people.
How can buyers benefit from purchasing this semen?
Well, I mean, they improve their genetics. They improve their herd. I mean, a lot of people look at the Make Mimi, and those were awesome females, and they were some in their time, and even now, I think they're probably still some very great dams. And so people look at improving their herd by improving the consistency of their females, and I think these proven sires can definitely do that.
Okay, and how long do people have to bid on the auction?
So the auction closes Wednesday at 2. So most of the bidding will be done at that time, but any lot that gets a bid, it'll basically stay open as long as there's a bid every 5 minutes. So it's like, they call it a racehorse style auction, but if you've ever been on an auction website or eBay, it keeps going until nobody bids for 5 minutes. And so you'll have the opportunity after 2 o'clock if some of those lots are still open to bid and buy.
Awesome. Well, thank you for answering our questions. And make sure you get on the auction and bid.
Thanks.